Have you ever walked through a forest and you've really struggled because you notice the ground just isn't that flat? Well, that's all part of the forest charm, and believe it or not, it's part of the forest health too. The uneven terrain actually provides so many benefits for biodiversity and protecting against climate change. Now, switch to this field. What happens when we turn these undulating forests into flat farm fields? We lose all those important benefits. This flat, uniform landscape is something we don't see in a natural, healthy forest. And since a big part of conservation is restoring degraded ecosystems, how can we bring back what makes forests great into these flat agricultural areas? So come along as we uncover how pits and mounds restoration is transforming landscapes and giving nature a push in the right direction. So pits and mounds are naturally occurring features in a forest, formed by the uprooting of trees. When a tree with shallow roots is uprooted, it leaves behind a hole in the ground, or a pit. And the subsequent buildup of soil and organic material outside the pit, that's what we call the mound. So as I'm walking through the area here, I'm just gonna point out some of the pits and mounds that I come across. Here's the first pit that we see, and you can see that it's filled with water, creating what's basically a small wetland. And then you can see kind of the raised area, if that's coming across on camera, and that's the mound, or the dirt and soil and organic material that they dug up and then placed beside the pit. And these are so important as they provide a diversity of these microhabitats within an ecosystem. So some species may be better suited to survive in damp, nutrient-rich pits, and others may be better suited on these drier mounds. And by creating this heterogeneity in an ecosystem, we can increase the number of available niches or available locations for a diverse range of species to thrive. And these features are crucial for enhancing biodiversity in a forest that's being restored. So at the Glenorchy Conservation Area in Oakville, Ontario, they're proactively creating these pits and mounds in what was once farmland. They're not just waiting for nature to take its course, they're accelerating the process. And that's part of what makes a successful conservation process, giving the environment a push in the right direction to accelerate what are natural processes. And the objective is to simulate natural growth patterns, fostering a diverse ecosystem that increases biodiversity and the availability of these niches for plants and animals. And the uneven topography also gives rise to what are known as ephemeral wetlands or seasonal wetlands. As these pits fill with water seasonally and then the water subsequently evaporates, this forms habitats that are critical for species like amphibians. Plus, they act as natural filtration systems for our water and support carbon sequestration, all important for climate change mitigation. And what's also super interesting is that the pits and mounds have been carefully planted with a diverse array of over 60 native species. And these have been sown directly into the earth to mimic the way they would naturally start growing. And these are complemented by a variety of shrubs, grasses, and wildflowers that create a rich tapestry of local plants across the landscape, promoting healthy tree growth. Additionally, logs from trees that were damaged in ice storms have been strategically placed, contributing essential organic materials to the soil and offering wildlife shelter and habitat. But why does all of this matter? In the face of climate change, these restoration efforts are not just about conservation. They're about resilience. these new woodland areas and grassland areas become carbon sinks and provide defenses against future disturbance. So this journey through the Glenorchy Conservation Area showcases how we can use restoration techniques like pits and mounds to echo the natural structures of old-growth forests. And in doing so, this can make a positive impact on our environment and our community. So if learning about these conservation techniques is exciting or interesting to you, please consider supporting or volunteering for your local conservation efforts. Your involvement makes a significant difference. And if you enjoyed this look at the pits and mounds in the Glenorchy Conservation Area, please consider subscribing for more short stories about the environment every Monday and Thursday. Also, feel free to check out the description for more information about the Glenorchy project and an article about pits and mounds projects in general. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.